Hello students, welcome back. As you can see, in this video, we'll talk about some other biographical characteristics, disability, hidden disability, and tenure, why they are important in the organization behavior discipline. First of all, disability. What is disability? Disability means someone has some limitation in a particular way. Suppose someone doesn't have a hand, someone doesn't have a leg, something like that, right? They are called disability. So should organization manager be careful about disability? We'll see. Previously, it was like that people who have some type of disability which is easily seen, they are not being appointed. But right today, the things have been changing because of some rules and regulation, because of changing in people's mindset, positive change in people's mindsets, right? These things are being changed. Today, organizations are making effort to hire people with disabilities. It's a good thing, right? But no matter, some organizations have started, but that doesn't mean all the organizations are doing it, right? Some organizations, or maybe most of the organizations, do not still hire people with disability. They believe that disability is not a good thing for their organization. That's why they prevent themselves, or they do not like to recruit people with disability. So that's a very bad thing, right? But some people may think that okay, some people are disabled, so I will not take him or her as my employee. So what is the bad thing in that? We'll talk about that in detail. Okay, but one thing is seen that disability can be two types: mental and physical. Physical disability, which we talked about, you don't have any a hand, you don't have a leg, they are examples of physical disabilities, right? But what about mental disabilities? Suppose you have migraine problem, suppose you have sleeping disorder, suppose you have learning impairment. So you have this problem that they are disability but they are mental in nature. Or you constantly feel stress, that's also one type of disability, right? But we do not care about mental disability that much, but research say that this disability impair performance more than the physical disabilities, right? So we should be very careful about them, and we shouldn't put more emphasis on physical disabilities because they are not that much, they do not affect the performance that much the way mental disabilities do. Okay, now that's the more important part of this slide. What's the implication for managers when you'll become a manager at a particular point of time in your career, right? What will be your implication from this slide, or your takeaway from this slide? The takeaway is you need to be very careful to avoid discriminatory practices by making generalizations about people with disability. You cannot make a stereotyping that people who have disability are poor performer, people with their type of disability absent more, something like that. You cannot make this type of generalization or what we call stereotyping. Why? I'll give you an example. Just think about that you need an employee for the job of a programmer. You want the employee to work uh, and to come up with new softwares, right? So you want some employee that is highly intellectual, that know that is who is creative, who knows how to create new better software, something like that, right? So you got two employees, two people have applied, and two of them performed at the similar level in the recruitment process, right? But here you found out that one of the employees, he do not he or she do not have doesn't have a leg. So you may think that okay, he or she has disability, so I'll not recruit him, rather I'll recruit the other one. But actually you are doing a very terrible thing. You are penalizing someone for the thing that doesn't affect, or doesn't will not affect his job performance, right? But you are doing it. That is called discrimination. Just think about that. Do a programmer need a leg to work? No. He just need a laptop. He just needs some technology, right? He or she can work for home. He or she can easily work remaining in a particular place, right? So the thing that he or she doesn't have a leg, that will not affect his performance. So you shouldn't make him penalized for that, and that will be wrong, and that will be discrimination, right? So you should be very careful about that. However, suppose you need a programmer and you found out that there is one employee, one prospective employee I found. He may be intellectual, but he has problems like learning problem. He's not good at learning things, right? So naturally, you will not appoint that employees, and if you do that, that is not discrimination, right? So be careful about that. Whether you are doing discrimination or not, that's a very vague thing. So you have to be very careful about whenever you are dealing with people with disability. Now the concept check. According to research, it has found out that workers with disabilities they receive higher performance evaluation. Suppose you are taking the stand that this statement is correct. How you will justify the statement, or why the employees with disability they receive higher performance evaluation? Let me give you the answer. It may be because of the fact that some people are disabled may make people think that okay, he has one limitation, he has one problem, or she has one problem, right? So and people will start having less expectation from him, from the job. So if he does average, people may think that he has done more than average because their expectation is lower for that particular employee, and that will motivate the evaluator or the motivate the supervisor to give them more weight if they perform at a moderate level, or if they perform good they will get greater gates than the other employees because people have less expectation from them. That may be a reason, right? That may be the reason which I come up with came up with, sorry. Again, there are some disabilities that is not visible. Physical disabilities are very observable or very perceivable, right? But think about some hidden disability like impaired hearing. You don't hear well, but you're not disclosing that. That will remain hidden. You feel constant pain or chronic pain in your some part of the body, and you're not disclosing it. That is a hidden disability. You have learning disorder like dyslexia. You have learning problem, right? You cannot learn things very easily by readings. So this is a problem, and you're not disclosing it. That will remain a hidden problem or hidden disability, right? However, as I already mentioned, that unless people decides to disclose a disability that isn't easily observable, that is known as, or they are known as hidden disabilities, right? And most of the people do not like to disclose that those hidden disabilities in the fear that they might lose their job or they will not be treated well after people found out that they have some limitations. But do you support that they should always do that? They should always hide their invisible or hidden disabilities? So that's my question. Should employees disclose their hidden disabilities? My answer is yes. Suppose think about that. You have a disability, right? You have sleep problem. So you cannot sleep at night. So when you join the organization in the morning, you cannot concentrate on your job, right? So, but you did not disclose that to your boss, and he found out that you cannot concentrate in your job. He or she may assume that you are not focused on your job, you are not serious with your job, and that will make things more difficult for you. Suppose in contrast to that, or instead of that, you decided to disclose this problem with your boss, and your boss is so supportive. Suppose your boss is supportive, most of the bosses are. Suppose your boss is supportive and he makes you some arrangement. He tells you that okay, you cannot sleep at night, so what if I make an arrangement like that? You will work at night, most of the work you will do at night. In that way you will perform better, right? So disclosure may help you increase the job satisfaction. It will, the thing will satisfy you, right? You're now you can work at night and you don't have to wake up in the morning, so it will increase the job satisfaction, and it will also help other understand your problem. And when other understand your problem, they assist you to deal with the problem, and in that way the workplace succeed or workplace become better. And other people, suppose some people is a very good performer, but he or she has some problem. So the manager knows that, and he don't want to lose the employee, so he can make some arrangement for them. But if you keep your disability hidden, you will not get these benefits, right? So it's better to disclose your hidden disabilities so that there is no misunderstanding is created and the manager do not assume that you are not serious in your job. The next biographic characteristic we'll talk about is tenure. Tenure means the total time a person has spent in a particular job, in a particular organization or field, right? The more tenure you have, that means you have been working for the organization or for this particular job a long period of time. Tenure and age is different. Age means how old are you? Suppose somebody is older doesn't mean that he will have more experience. He may, he or she may, but that doesn't mean he or she must have more experience. Suppose he or she has started working at a very older age, so he may have less tenure. Something like that. Tenure is all related with the how much you have been in a particular, how many times or how much time you have been involved in a particular job. So research says that there has been found a positive relationship between seniority and job productivity. That means the more tenure you have, the more chances that you will become more productive. It's logical, right? You have been in an organization for a long period of time and you got used to the way of the organization and you have got new ways. You have got many, after many trial and error, you have found the best way to do any job, and that will make you more productive. Then these people also absent less frequently. They have lower turnover, they don't like to quit their job, and they are more satisfied. That makes sense, right? Because you are been in a particular job or organization for a long period of time, and since you are in a particular job or organization for a long period of time, that gives us an idea that you are happy with your job, happy with your organization, right? So the chances that you will remain happy with your organization and you will not leave the job, you will absent less frequently, and you will enjoy more satisfaction in your job. So tenure, we can say that tenure is most of the time it's a good thing, but research hasn't found any bad thing about tenure till now. So we can say that tenure is a good thing for organization behavior or for managers. Managers will have to think about that and they will be benefited from that. And I have already told you the answer. What is the big difference between tenure and age? Tenure is related to how much you have been in a particular job or organization, and age is what is your, how old are you? As simple as that. You are older doesn't mean that you have more tenure, but most of the time people who are older they have more tenure, but it's not like that. That's a must. Some people are older but they may not have higher tenure because they have joined the organization after a very long time or at a very older age, something like that. With this we conclude our video. Hope to see you again. Thank you for your patience.